Hello, callers, and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We start with this report claiming that Spain manager Luis Enrique could end up calling Barcelona left back Alejandro Balde following injury to Valencia left back Jose Gaya. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Memphis Depay, as it has been reported that Sevilla would try their best to convince the Barca striker over a January move. We are also going to be looking at that. So guys, before we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. As Spain continue their preparations for the FIFA World Cup 2022, they have been dealt with a setback as left-back Jose Gaya has sustained an ankle injury. According to Sport, the Valencia left-back withdrew from La Roja final training session on Wednesday due to a low-grade lateral sprain in his right ankle. A better picture of his situation will emerge after he goes through an MRI scan. While it is said that the doctors are optimistic about Gaya's situation or Gaya's condition, a scenario might arise wherein Spain will have to replace the left back in case his injury does not look good. In that situation, Barcelona youngster Alejandro Balde could possibly be called up to replace Gaya. Another Barca star, Marcos Alonso, could also be in contention for the berth if Gaya is indeed unable to participate in the tournament. Balde had been tipped for a first ever call up to the Spain senior team for the World Cup after his explosion in the Barcelona setup this season. The 19-year-old has been preferred as the first choice left back by Xavi ahead of Jordi Alba, who has made it to the La Roja squad. An attacking fullback, Balde has also shown great adaptability, having played at right back on several occasions. As for Alonso, he's a player that Enrique has previously called up to the Spain squad and has been fairly solid since arriving at Barcelona this past summer, even when asked to play in an unfamiliar centre-back position. FIFA rules allow nations to name a replacement for an injured player in the squad, and it remains to be seen whether Gaya's injury is serious enough for him to be forced out of the tournament. In that case, either Balde or Alonso could receive a late call-up to fly to Qatar. I think all nations have finally called their 26 list, their 26-man squad for the World Cup. When Luis Enrique made up his list last week, some people were surprised for the fact that Balde was not included in that list, despite having a very good season, having a breakthrough season for Barca. And personally, I was also surprised. But it is what it is. Enrique said he still needs to play more. He needs to gather more experience. Of course, we know Balde is the best left back we have now at Barca. But according to Luis Enrique, he still needs to see more of the youngster. He needs to continue to play at the highest level. And he thinks it can be still premature for him to be in the senior squad right now. So Jose Gaya, who is also a left back, of course, who plays for Valencia, have suffered an injury in training yesterday. And of course, with that news, it might bring up the possibility of Luis Enrique to call another left back, because FIFA have the regulation or the law that you are free to call a replacement in case one of your players gets injured, because the 26-man shortlist is the maximum number of players that are for each and every squad for the World Cup. So this report is saying that Alejandro Balde might just be called up for that World Cup, in case the scan, whatever one they want to do with Jose Gaya, if they see that the injury is somehow serious, Alejandro Balde is in contention to be one of the players that Luis Enrique might contemplate calling. Let's not forget to Marcos Alonso. Alonso, who is also a left back, of course, even more experienced than Balde, has played at the bigger stages. And I think, to be honest, for my own opinion, I think worst come to the worst, I can see Luis Enrique calling the Marcos Alonso before talking about Alejandro Balde, because Alonso have been called by Enrique before, and he's a player who have played at the highest level of football with a great experience he has going to the world biggest stage in the World Cup. I think for me, Alonso will have that greater edge over Alejandro Balde when it comes to the possible left back that can be called by the Spain manager. But let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. But definitely, if Jose Gaya's injury continue to prolong to the level that they see that he will not be able to feature for the World Cup, then definitely either Marcos Alonso or Alejandro Balde will be called up by Luis Enrique to the Spain squad. So let's see how it goes. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, according to a report by Sport, Barcelona forward Memphis Depay is the subject of interest from Sevilla. The La Liga outfit led by sporting director Monchi will do their best to convince him to join them in January. Barcelona want to offload Memphis in January through termination to make some space in the wage bill. It will allow them to sign players in the winter, which seems largely impossible as of now. Monchi has already contacted Memphis' entourage in the hopes of securing a move, but the move will not be easy. That is because, according to recent reports, the Dutchman will only leave Barca as a free agent in the winter if two of his conditions are met. Firstly, he wants the club to pay the remainder of his salary on his contract, which gets over in the summer of 2023. Secondly, more importantly, the former Manchester United man only wants to sign with the club in the Champions League and wants to be the leader of the team. Sevilla, unfortunately, have been absent this season. They are languishing in the relegation zone right now, sitting in 18th place with just 11 points. Julian Lopetegui, for all his tactical prowess, could not get the most out of his side. Things have not been much better after his sacking either, with Sevilla only scoring 13 goals across 14 matches. It seems highly unlikely that they will be able to sign Memphis in January given his demands, but this is far from the last you will hear from this saga. Memphis Depay's future have been hanging in the air for a long time now. Barcelona want the player to leave. His contract comes to an end at the end of the season, but the player wants to see out the contract. But due to the fact that our club is facing still some difficulties when it comes to finances and financial fair play, Barcelona want to get rid of Memphis in January so that they can at least have some space on the wage bill. But Memphis will make it more difficult for them because yesterday we talked about the two conditions that Memphis have set, that he wants to play for a big club and he wants Barca to pay all his salary if they want to sell him in that January transfer window. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Barca to get rid of Memphis. Sevilla have been strongly linked in recent reports, but Sevilla are in the relegation zone and you don't expect Memphis to go there. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.